Please start, sir.
Okay. Hello, my dear students. Good evening. Let me speak on INI CET November 2024 20 MCQs TND in forensic medicine. I'm Dr. Jayaprakash K, Professor of Forensic Medicine. Now, this session, I would like to teach the new law which have taken place in India. Okay, like BNS, BNSS, etc. Number one, a judicial magistrate of first class can impose a fine up to 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, no limit. Now, as the new law, there is a change. Now, you see, as you know very well, there are three types of magistrate court from lower to higher. Number one, judicial magistrate of second class. Number two, judicial magistrate of first class. And number three, chief judicial magistrate. And now, what are their powers? Now, they can pass an imprisonment up to 137. That means JMSC up to 1 year of imprisonment, JMFC up to 3 years of imprisonment, and CJM up to 7 years of imprisonment. That is same like before. But regarding fine, there is an amendment. Judicial magistrate second class can impose a fine up to rupees 10,000. First class, it can impose a fine up to rupees 50,000, and chief judicial magistrate unlimited. Unlimited. And in addition to that, they can also impose to do community service. All these three courts, whether it is JMSC, JMFC, or CJM, can impose community service. So now we got the answer. The first question, the answer is 50,000 rupees. But previously it was 5,000, 10,000, and unlimited. Now it is 10,000, 50,000, and unlimited. Now coming to the second question. According to which section of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, a child above 7 years and below 12 years is may or may not be liable for his criminal conduct. 20, 21, 22, 23. Let me discuss on all these sections. Now, let me speak on juvenile and punishment. As you know very well, juvenile means a person whose age is less than 18 years, and if he commits any offense, he is known as juvenile offender. Now, let me classify under four headings: less than 7 years, 7 to 12 years, 12 to 16 years, and 16 to 18 years. Now, okay. As per section 20 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, they say nothing is an offense done by a child below the age of 7 years, because a child less than 7 years cannot understand the nature and consequences of the act they are doing at the material time. So whatever offense they commit, they are not punishable as per section 70 of, sections 20 of BNS. At the same time, when the age of the child is between 7 and 12 years, then it depends whether they are mentally matured or not. If the defense lawyer convinces the presiding officer of the court that the child has not attained proper maturity to understand the nature and consequences, then as per section 21 of BNS, the child is not punishable. At the same time, if the court has been convinced that the child could understand the nature and consequences, then again, as per 21 BNS, he is punishable, but maximum up to 3 years of imprisonment, not more than 3 years of imprisonment. Now, after the age of 12 and before the age of 16, there is no question of mental maturity. Any child commits any offense, then all are punishable, maximum 3 years of imprisonment. 3 years of imprisonment. Okay. At the same time, if the age of the juvenile is between 16 and 18 years, then it depends on the crime. What type of crime it is. Say, for example, if a child has committed, child means I'm talking about 16 and 18 years, commit a heinous crime. Now, what do you mean by heinous crime? Heinous crime is any crime for which imprisonment is 7 years or more. Say, for example, rape, murder, terrorism, waging war against the country. All these minimum more than 7 years of imprisonment. So here, if it commits a heinous crime, then more than 3 years can be given. But if it's not a heinous crime, maximum 3 years. But remember, there is a clause. I already told, if a child between 16 and 80 years commits a heinous crime, more than 3 years can be given, but no death sentence, no life imprisonment. No death sentence, no life imprisonment. For example, if a 17 years old person involved in a gang rape, even 20 years imprisonment can be given. But at the same time, death sentence cannot be given. And even life imprisonment cannot be given. Now, more than 18 years, you know very well, a person is fully responsible for his criminal act unless he is mentally. That I will discuss later. Now, section 20 of BNS. Now, already discussed about 20 and 21. Now, what about 22 BNS? Very, very important section here. Criminal responsibility of a mentally ill person. Previously, it was 84 of Indian Penal Code. Now, no need to remember about the Indian Penal Code. According to 22 BNS, which is derived from McNaughton's rule, if a mentally ill person commits a crime, he is not punishable. Now, what about section 23 of BNS? This deals with commission of any crime under intoxication. There are two types of intoxication. One is involuntary intoxication, where without his knowledge, somebody has intoxicated him. Number two, voluntary intoxication, where he himself has consumed some intoxicating agent. It may not be only alcohol, it may be any other intoxicating agent. And if a person commits any offense under involuntary intoxication, he is not liable for his act. The one who intoxicated him is punishable. At the same time, Section 24 of BNS, in case of voluntary intoxication, he is liable for his act. He is liable for his act. Okay. Now, look here. In India, a boy below dash years cannot be charged with the rape. I already told nothing is an offense done by a child below the age of 7 years. Age under which child is considered incapable of committing an offense as per Section 20 BNS is. I told Section 20 BNS presumes that a child below the age of 7 years cannot understand the nature and consequences of the act. So answer is again 7 years. What is the maximum punishment that can be given under Juvenile Justice Act 2000 after amendment? I already told you. It depends on the crime. For example, if it is a heinous crime between 16 and 18, more than 2 years can be given. Say, for example, look at this. I already told you, case of gang rape, 20 years to life imprisonment or sometimes even death sentence if the victim is a minor. But here, maximum 20 years of imprisonment, no death sentence, and no life imprisonment. Now, a person is pleading insanity in the court of law for the crime he has committed. What protection is available in the Indian law? And you know very well, it was 84 of IPC, now it is 22 of BNS, not Thunder's rule. This question asked in EMS November 17. Now, already know the answer above 7 and below 12 years, not liable under section 21 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Okay, dear students, meantime, if you have any doubts, you please message. Okay, I'm saying, if you have any doubts, you please ask me. Okay. Okay. Some of you said, good evening, sir. Okay. Good evening, all of you. Bye. Okay. Not bye. I'm sorry. Okay. Very, very important. I'm expecting this question for your INI CET or even may be NEET PG also. Cure is punishable under which section of BNS? You know, previously under defined under 191 of IPC, punishable under section 193 of IPC. Now, you look here. Now, Section 2, bracket 23 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita defines what is oath and what is solemn affirmation. As you know very well, there are types of people in the world. Number one, who believes in the God. Number two, who does not believe in the God. The one who believes in the God is known as theist, and who does not believe in the God is known as an atheist. Theist may go to the court of law before giving evidence. He may keep his hands on his holy book of his faith. Then he may say that in the name of the God, I swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But at the same time, if a person does not believe in the God, then he may keep his hand maybe over the head, maybe over the chest, or maybe like this. But don't keep on in unwanted parts of your body and you say that I solemnly affirm that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That is known as solemn affirmation. Because a person is a theist, it does not mean that always he will tell the truth. It's because a person does not believe in the God, it does not mean that always he will not tell the always he will lie. Both may lie. Lie under oath is known as perjury. That means giving false evidence under oath or solemn affirmation, which are defined under Section 227 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita and punishable under Section 229 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Now, let me discuss another section also, which is important here. 227 already I told you. It is giving false evidence in definition. 28 defines what do you mean by fabricating false evidence. 29 punishment for both section 27 and 228. 234 defines what do you mean by issuing or signing false certificate, and also it gives punishment. Punishment is same as for giving false evidence. That is to 7 years of imprisonment. That means even if you give false evidence under oath or solemn affirmation, or even if you give fabricate the evidence, or even if you issue or sign a false certificate, you are punishable under section 229 for 227 and 228 and 234 for issuing a false certificate, maximum 7 years of imprisonment. Now, look here. A person fabricates a conclusion. Now, many people think that is punishable under section 228. No, you're wrong. 228 defines what is fabricating false evidence, but punishment is under section 229 of BNS. A doctor performed the autopsy of a 26-year-old married woman who has committed suicide. The doctor found the cause of death to be due to aluminum phosphate poisoning. He was summoned in the court of law where he willingly hid this information. You are hiding the information also, equivalent to giving false evidence, is punishable under section 229 of BNS. Of course, November 15 it was IPC, that was written 193. I just changed the section for your convenience. Okay. Okay, little things. Hi, sir. Hi. Hey, if you have any doubts, you please ask me, okay? Now, what is the maximum punishment for issuing birth certificate? Already I told you, it's 7 years. Now, question, no need to describe again. It is 229 of BNS, very, very important section. Okay. Number 4, in case of a child below the age of 12 years, the parent or guardian can give consent as per BNS section. Let me speak on consent, age and consent. A child below the age of 12 years cannot give consent even for general physical examination. No, no consent at all. Even general physical examination, he cannot treat a child less than 12 years unless there is consent from his legal guardian. Okay, as per section 28 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Can give, parent or legal guardian can give as per under section 27 of BNS. 27 of BNS. Now, 12 to 18 years, you can give consent only for general physical examination, but it does not include vaginal and rectal examination. Remember that. That means only inspection, palpation, percussion, and auscultation per vaginal examination, per rectal examination. No blood test, injection, X-ray. More than 18 years, you can give consent for any act not intended to cause death or grievous harm. Okay, that means a person above the age of 18 years can give consent for even surgical procedure, any major surgery also. As per section 25 BNS, that is not much important. Remember, very, very important section. Consent is not required in case of emergency where it is impossible to signify consent. As per section 30 of BNS, remember this. Previously to 92 IPC, forget about IPCs now. Okay. Well, again, a child, even if it is conscious and it can give consent, the consent becomes invalid. So, according to 30 BNS, if a child comes to me with severe chills and rigors where I suspect malaria, if there is no guardian or parent, I can continue examination as well as treatment as per section 30 of BNS. At the same time, if the person is incompetent to give consent, becomes incompetent to give consent, as you know very well, in case of unconsciousness, or in case of intoxication, or in case of mentally ill person. A consent given under the influence of alcohol or any other stupefying or intoxicant agent is invalid. At the same time, a mentally ill person is considered to become invalid. In such cases, if it is a case of emergency, no need to take consent. Okay. The minimum age at which child can give consent for medical examination is 12 years. 12 years. A child below the age of 12 years cannot give consent as per BNS section 28. 28. Minimum age of a person who can give consent for age determination is now age determination, physical, dental, and radiological examination to take X-ray. His age should be minimum 18 years. Minimum 18 years. Okay. Now, a person presents with crash injury of both lower limbs in an emergency and refuses to consent for surgery. Now, here it is an emergency, but he is conscious. Now, you cannot proceed with surgery. Okay. So, the doctor cannot operate on the individual. That is the answer. It is a tricky question. Okay. Now, number four, in case a child below the age of 12 years, the parent or guardian can give consent as per BNS section 27. Number five, during surgery, if a doctor fails to remove or operate more than what he anticipated before surgery, then he is covered under which doctrine? Many students may answer a doctrine of anticipation. Let me discuss on that. Doctrine of anticipation, also known as substituted judgment or misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Here, if a person is totally incapacitated or if he's incompetent, like I said, a children or mentally ill, intoxicated or unconscious, based on what the patient would have chosen, if they could make their own decision, means if at all he is conscious, or if at all he is not mentally ill, or if at all he is not intoxicated, or if at all he is not a child, what they would have done? They would have given consent in case of emergency. Now, if you proceed with the surgery or any other treatment, you get immunity as per section 30 of BNS. I told you emergency consent, that is doctrine of anticipation. Okay. Now, a doctor has to do an urgent operation on an unconscious patient to save his life, but there are no relatives to take consent. He goes ahead without obtaining consent from anyone. He is using the principle of doctrine of anticipation as per section 30 of BNS. Okay. An unconscious patient comes to casualty with life-threatening injuries. There was no time for consent, and the doctor started life-saving surgery with all precautions. Death of the patient occurred. Again, answer is doctrine of anticipation. Now, by doctrine of extended consent or extension doctrine. See here, it is applied in circumstances where the patient is originally consented for a specific procedure, but during the surgery, further issues are encountered that it can be best resolved at the current time. And at the same time, if it is infeasible that time for further consent of the patient or the party, then the original consent can be extended to cover the unexpected further care. Say, for example, if the person is under anesthesia, he will take a consent for appendectomy, but while operating, you see there is ectopic pregnancy. Then you just send people outside, nearest kith and kin, nobody is there. Then you can do further surgery. Okay. Now, what do you mean by extended doctrine of implied consent? Extended doctrine of implied consent are not similar but slightly different. It is applied in circumstances where the factors surrounding are deemed reasonable and appropriate. Same as doctrine of extended consent. Almost same. Okay. Now, say for example, doctor has to remove or operate more than what he anticipated before surgery. Say for example, like ectopic pregnancy, as I said. Okay. Now, during surgery, the doctor fails to remove operate more than what he anticipated before surgery. Now it is known as extended doctrine of implied consent. A rape locator, you know very well, the thing speak for itself. Doctrine of conjugated consent means combined consent. Okay. Now, number six, medical negligence by a doctor can be booked under which BNS section? 125, 125A, 125B, 106, 304A. Now, options are there. Now, let me talk about BNS section related to rash and negligent act. Now, there are four sections here. Number one, rash and negligent act which endangering the life of the person who is punishable under section 125 of BNS, endangering life. For example, you give injection penicillin without test dose, nothing happened, but you're endangering the life of the person. 125A, causing hurt by rash and negligent act. 125B, causing grievous hurt by rash and negligent act. 106, causing death of a person for a doctor, patient. And here, maximum up to years of imprisonment. But in case of road traffic accident, rash and negligent act, now it is up to 5 years imprisonment. But doctor, they have given some concession. Okay. So here, all these four sections are related to rash and negligent act. A doctor injects penicillin without giving a test dose, the patient dies. So already I told, is endangering the life of the person. Endangering life of the person. 125 of BNS is charged for criminal negligence, but that did not take place. So there is no question of compensation, means damages. So civil negligence, it does not come under civil negligence. It is purely criminal negligence. Now, a doctor injects penicillin without giving test to the patient dies of anaphylactic shock. So here what happened? Definitely he'll be punishable under section 106 for rash and negligence resulting in death of the patient. At the same time, his wife will or relative, anybody will sue you in a civil court for compensation. So he'll be charged for both civil as well as criminal negligence. Now, medical negligence by a doctor can be booked under BNS section 1, 2, 3, and 4. 304A, it was IPC. Okay, it is not under BNS section. Previously, Russian negligent act resulting in death of a person was punishable under section 304A of Indian Penal Code. A resident doctor used the same needle for two patients while giving antibiotics, following which the patient became HIV positive. The act of gross medical negligence is punishable under. Now here, let me discuss on three sections, 371, 372, 373, 271, 272, 273. 271 PNS deals with negligent act likely to spread infection of disease dangerous to life. Whereas 272 BNS, malignant act likely to spread infection of disease dangerous to life. Now, I give you example. So what is the difference between negligent act and malignant act? Just keep in your mind. In case of negligent act, the person is not aware that the person is suffering from some infectious disease. Whereas in malignant act, person knows very well he is suffering from some infectious disease. I give you two beautiful example, then you'll come to know. Now, negligent act where the person is not aware, a doctor used same needle to give antibiotics following which the patient became HIV positive. That means he did not know that the first patient was HIV positive. Meantime, a person is HIV positive, is aware of it. That means he knows that he HIV positive. In spite of that, he does sexual intercourse. Now, negligent act 271, malignant act 272. Whereas 273 of BNS related to disobedience to quarantine rule. Disobedience to quarantine rule. Okay. Now look here. Here, I just tilted the question. A resident doctor used the same needle for two patients while giving antibiotics, knowing that the first patient was HIV positive. That means it is malignant act 272 of BNS. Whereas here, HIV positive and is aware. Again, 272 of BNS. Now here, resident doctor used the same needle. It does not know. So it is negligent act. So punishable under section 271 of BNS. I hope all of you understood. Summary. Homicide case comes to doctor, he must inform the police. This comes under. Previously it was 39 CRPC, now it is 33 BNSS. It gives a list of some offences where it is our duty, our means not only doctor, any citizen of India, we have to give information about certain offences like murder, rape, everything. Okay. At the same time, here as a doctor, we should inform if death takes place on the operation table during anesthesia or surgery. At the same time, if a patient comes to you with homicidal poisoning, you have to, or homicidal assault, you have to inform the proper authorities, means police. That is 33 BNS. Remember that. Okay. Now, homicide case comes to a doctor. Already answer is 33. 194 of BNSS deals with police inquest. Remember that. Previously it was 174 CRPC. 196 BNSS deals with magistrate's inquest. Okay. And 51 of BNSS deals with examination of accused by medical practitioner at request of police officer. That means whenever a examined and where he is requested by a police officer, usually after arrest, he may request a police officer, then we can examine the person even without consent, that too by using reasonable minimal force. Now, look here, examination accused by medical practitioner request of police officer. Already I told you, he can proceed with the exam even without consent at the request of any police officer. And secondly, whenever a person of a female is to be examined, she has to be examined only by a lady medical officer or under the supervision of a registered medical practitioner. You read defined under which section of BNS? Previously it was 44 of IPC, now it is bracket 14 of BNS. You read, any harm, whatever illegally caused to any person in body, mind, reputation, or property. You hit a person, injury to the body. You abuse a person, injury to the mind. You write dishonestly in the social media or newspaper or TV, whatever it is. That is injury to the reputation. You steal some movable property or immovable property also. You just put your offense belonging to somebody else and claim that it is your property. That is injury. Whereas Section 114 of BNS defines what is hurt. Means bodily pain, disease, or infirmity caused to any person. Bodily pain, disease, or infirmity caused to any person. Infirmity means weakness. The weakness may be physical weakness or mental weakness. Meantime, look at the here. Theory is defined under which section of BNS? Already know the answer. 214. 114 is short. 116 is grievous hurt. 118 is voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapon. Sometimes they ask a question. Dangerous weapon is felt under which section of BNS? 118. I'm going to explain later again. If hurt is grievous, provided the victim is unable to follow his ordinary pursuit for a minimum period of, you remember, previously as per section 320 of IPC, minimum 20 days, but now the section 116 of BNL deals with grievous hurt. Here, there are 8 clauses. Number 1, emasculation means the male person loses his masculine power. Number 2, permanent privation of the sight of the either eye. Privation means loss, and this privation may be partial or complete, but it should be permanent. Number 3, permanent privation of the hearing of the either ear. Number 4, privation of any member or joint. Member means any part or organ of the body which has got its own function. For example, tongue is a member, finger is a member, toe is a member, hand is a member, hand is a member. Okay, that is member. Number 5, obstruction or permanently impairing the powers of any member or joint. Say, for example, I take a knife or a scalpel and cut the radial nerve or ulnar nerve, or I cut a tendon. There is permanent impairing of the powers. Number 6, permanent disfiguration of the head or face. Now, it is all these are subjective. Say, for example, there may be multiple scar or maybe a single scar. At the end, it is up to the judge to decide. Okay. But remember, for your purpose, any scar over the head or face, you can consider as permanent disfiguration. Okay. Number 7, fracture or dislocation of any bone or tooth. Fracture or dislocation of any bone or tooth. Number 8, any hurt which endangers the life of the person. Say, for example, stabbing into the abdomen, or any hurt which causes the sufferer to be during the space of 15 days in severe bodily pain. Previously, it was 20 days. Now it is 15 days. Or unable to follow his ordinary pursuits. Ordinary pursuits. Many times people may think hospitalization for 15 days is grievous hurt. No, mere hospitalization is not grievous hurt. He should be under severe bodily pain or he should be unable to follow his ordinary pursuits. Now, all these 8 sections are together. Now, this question asked previously in AIMS May 2019 sequentially arrange the clause of section 116 of BNS. I don't know. It is a really unexpected question. Okay. Unexpected question. I don't think even most of the lawyers also may not be knowing in the sequence. Okay. I know because I teach this regularly. Okay. Which of the following constitute grievous hurt? Inside wound of thigh? No. Partial avulsion of thigh? No. Corneal abrasion? Grievous hurt because it may give rise to opacity of the cornea and visual disturbances. Hospitalization, I said, just because a person is hospitalized, it does not mean that it is grievous hurt. A teacher slapped a student after which suffering from 25% hearing loss. This was corrected after the surgery. What kind of injury is this? Many students say that it is simple because it is corrected. You are wrong because nature of injury irrespective of medical intervention. Nature of injury is irrespective of medical intervention. So it is grievous. All the following injuries are considered to be grievous hurt under section 116 of BNS except emasculation, yes. Fracture of femur, yes. Admission in hospital for 7 days, no. Permanent privation of hearing, yes. Any hurt is grievous? Answer is 15 days. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Jack shoots Y with an intention to kill. Remember, there is intention to kill. Causing wound of the thigh, a small wound. The bleeding in the thigh starts spontaneously after some time because it is a minor wound, under which section of BNS X can be punished. All such questions asked in previous aims or illicit examination. Okay. Now, let me speak of important section under this. Section 100 of BNS defines what is culpable homicide. Culpable means punishable. Remember that. 101 defines what is murder. Whereas Hilton defines what is culpable homicide not amounting to murder. See, culpable homicide may be amounting to murder, not amounting to murder. Culpable homicide amounting to murder, we just call it as murder. Okay. 103, punishment for murder. 105, punishment for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. 109, attempt to murder. 110, attempt to commit culpable homicide. 118, already I spoke, causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapon. Causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapons. Okay. Now, let me explain. Homicide means killing of one Homo sapiens by the act of other Homo sapiens. Okay. Now, it may be justifiable homicide, culpable homicide, excusable homicide. Culpable is punishable. Justifiable, excusable are not punishable. What are the beautiful examples for justifiable homicide? Military war, or judicial execution. The more and more soldiers you kill of enemy country, the more and more awards you may get. At the same time, judicial execution, the person is appointed to execute the death sentence. Whereas excusable homicide, beautiful example A, accidental death during sports or games. Sports or games. Look here, Phil Hughes died. The ball hit his head and he died. The umpire gets hit by ball on head, dies in a month after being in coma. The bowler is not punishable. Now, culpable homicide may be amounting to murder, not amounting to murder. What is the difference? Now, let me give you a chart. See, the person get intention to kill. Then he cause one injury, very severe injury. That means gravity is very severe. Gravity of injury is severe. For example, I take a gun and shoot a person into the head and he dies. This wound is almost necessarily fatal. Death takes place. Now I am punishable for murder under section 103 of BNS. At the same time, I get an intention to kill a person. When I shoot him into the stomach, immediately is taken to the hospital where the surgeons open it, laparotomy, exploratory laparotomy and repair. And he survives. Gravity of the injury is severe because this injury is sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death. Sufficient ordinary course of nature to cause death, but it did not die. So punishable under section 109 for attempt to murder. Attempt to murder. Okay. Now, number three, I get an intention to kill. I shoot a person into his hand. That means gravity of injury is not severe. Here, this injury is not sufficient audio course of nature to cause death. But unfortunately, the person suffered from septicemia and death. Maybe he was highly diabetic, must have got infected, maybe clostridium welching, gas gangrene, or septicemia, whatever it is. Now, gravity of injury is not severe. Punishable under section 105 for culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. Not amounting to murder. At the same time, if the person survives, it is attempt to culpable homicide, not amounting to murder, and punishable under section 110 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Okay. Now, number 118, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapons or means. What do you mean by dangerous weapon? Defined under the same section. Any instrument which is used for cutting, shooting, or stabbing, or any instrument when it is used as a weapon of offense is likely to cause death. That is dangerous weapon. Strictly speaking, any weapon can be dangerous. Your rice particle also dangerous. You can introduce into the nostril where it can cause laryngospasm and death of a person. Now, I would like to discuss one more. Maybe ask literally throwing some corrosives to disfigure the person. Most commonly used agent is sulfuric acid, so it is also known as oil of vitriol. Here, it is punishable under section 124 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, that is 124 bracket 1, voluntarily causing grievous hurt by use of acid, minimum 10 years of imprisonment which extend to life imprisonment. Or if a person attempt to throw, then punishable under section 124.2 of BNS, voluntarily throwing or attempting to throw acid, minimum 5 years, which may extend to 7 years. Okay. That you just remember. X fired his gun at Y, who moved and escaped the bullet, only grazing his thigh with only little bleeding. Gun is a dangerous weapon. It caused only a graze injury, a small injury. Gravity of injury is not very severe. At the same time, there is no intention. Meantime, 103 means person has to die because it is punishment for murder. Here, person did not die. 105 means it is for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. But again, here, person did not die. So he cannot be booked under 103 or 105 because of there is no intention. At the same time, gravity of injury is not severe, so it cannot come under murder. It is same time it cannot come under culpable is not amounting to murder because here there is no intention. 110 attempt to commit culpable homicide not amounting to murder. I said intention is not mentioned. There is no death, so no question of culpable homicide, no question of murder. 110 attempt, it is no intention. 118 causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapon. So here it is hurt by dangerous weapon. Answer is 118. Okay. Now coming back to the question. In this question, there is intention to kill. So it may be culpable homicide amounting to murder, not amounting to murder. A minor injury, gravity is not severe. At the same time, he has survived. He has survived. So answer is 110. Attempt to commit culpable homicide not amounting to murder. He can rule out 103 and 105 because death has not taken place. He can rule out 118 because there is intention to kill. Okay. Section 90 of BNS deals with. Now here, let me discuss on abortion. In law, we call abortion as miscarriage. As per law, expulsion of products of conception at any time before full term is known as miscarriage. It may be spontaneous, may be natural or accidental, that you know under obstetrics. Artificial, it may be criminal or justifiable. Justified. Justifiable means termination is done as per MTP Act. Whereas Criminal may not as per MTP Act. Their idea is to get rid of the products of conception. And here, three important sections you should know. 88 BNS causing miscarriage with the consent of the mother. 89 BNS causing miscarriage without the consent of the mother. 90 BNS causing death of the mother with or without consent. Okay. All the other totally five sections 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. 91, 92 is not much important. These three sections are important. Legally, abortion means termination of pregnancy at any time before full term. Section 88 to 92 BNA deals with punishment for inducing criminal abortion. Now you may be interested about in 91 act done with intent to prevent child being born alive or to cause it to die after death. Say, for example, a pregnant lady go on it on her abdomen with an intention to killing the child. Or 92, causing death of quick unborn child when act amounting to culpable homicide. Say, for example, a person assault a pregnant woman, assaults a pregnant woman. During the assault, the baby dies. Then is punishable under section 92 of BNS. Okay. If a doctor is performing an illegal assault, even with the female consent, answer is 88. Meantime, section 90, death of the mother by miscarriage. Okay, Manisha Goswami, good evening. All of you, good evening. Okay, nobody is asking any question. Only Anuj Kumar Chowdhury is continuously replying the answer. Okay. Number three, the High Court has power to stay the execution of a pregnant woman according to which section of BNSS, Bharatiya Nyaya Suraksha Samita. Now, all three questions are asked before, but this is very, very important. Section 456 of BNSS. If a woman who was sentenced to death is found to be pregnant, then the High Court shall commute the death sentence to life imprisonment. She cannot be hanged at all. Remember this. Meantime, 93 BNS, it is the duty of the parent, both husband as well as wife, his father or mother, to take or both to take care of a child at least up to 12 years. Of exposure and abandonment of child under 12 years by parent or person having care of it. Section 94 BNS, concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. That means if mother only kills, it is murder only, 103 of BNS. She delivers a stillborn baby, but she has to inform the authorities. That is 94 BNS. So here, answer is 93. A widower in the custody of a 10-year-old child ran away from home and married another woman. He is punishable under which section of BNS? 93. Abandonment of the child. The High Court has got 456 of BNSS. Number 14. A woman who has been assaulted by her boyfriend in the midnight comes to the police station to lodge a complaint. There was only one police personnel in the police station and he rapes the woman. In such scenario, the police is punishable under this section of BNS. Now, all of you come to know that it is a custodial rape. Now, let me discuss on BNS sections on rape. 63, definition of rape. 64, punishment for rape. Under 64, subclause number 1, bracket, for rape, quantum of punishment is 10 years, 10 years of imprisonment, which may extend to life imprisonment. 64, 2, there are so many A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, J. I don't want to waste my time as well as your time. My time, no problem, but your time, very precious. Okay, you can just go through this, keeping pause later. But it includes custodial rape. Okay, what is custodial rape? Rape by a person who is in a position of authority in his custody. Rape by a person in a position of authority in his custody. 10 years of imprisonment, which may extend to life imprisonment. Here, sometimes as per section 5 of BNS, if a person's life imprisonment can be commuted to 14 years. After completion of 14 years, he may be released from the jail. But in custodial rape, till his death, he should be in the jail. Now, according to 63 BNS, the minimum age of a girl to give valid consent, all of you know very well, it is 18 years. Even with the consent, if a person has sexual intercourse less than 18 years, then it is it is statutory rape. Statutory rape. Okay. Quantum is minimum. Quantum of punishment for rape is imprisonment for years. Custodial rape also 10 years. Now here answer is 64 of BNS. True statement regarding sexual intercourse between husband and wife during separation as per law. Now, what do you mean by during separation? Look here. Section 67 of BNS. Sexual intercourse with wife who is living separately under a decree of separation without her consent and on her complaint. That may, if a divorce case is going on in a court, the family may say, because you two are staying together, you don't know the importance of each other. You stay separately for a period of 3 months or 6 months. After that, you come back to me and tell me whether you want to continue divorce suit or not. During that period, if husband goes and has sexual intercourse forcibly means without her consent, and if she lodges a complaint, then the husband is punishable. Remember, here it is cognizable and bailable minimum 2 years, which may extend to 7 years of imprisonment. 7 years of imprisonment. Many books say that it is marital rape, but in India there is nothing like marital rape. It is not a marital rape. Marital rape is not there in India. First of all, the definition only starts that sexual intercourse with wife. Okay. In India, marital rape is non-punishable. So true statement is it is non-bailable offense. Wrong. Only a crime complained by the victim. Yes. Defined in section 67. Yes. Minimum punishment is 2 years. Correct. Maximum is 5 years. Wrong. To 7 years. Okay. Finally, a medical student had attended shortage as required by the university norms. The principal asked for the sexual favor in return to allow her to appear for examination. The student agrees for his terms, has sexual intercourse with him, and later lodges a police complaint. In such scenario, the principal is punishable under section. Some teachers also teach, some students also think this is custodial rape. Remember, this is not custodial rape. Let me speak on section 68 of BNS. Here, you see, 64 2, bracket 2, they started the definition rape by a person in a position of authority in custody. But here it is mentioned sexual intercourse by a person in a position of authority, taking advantage of his official position, induce or seduce a woman to have sexual intercourse with him, not amounting to rape. Section only said not amounting to rape. That means it is not at all rape. Here, as the question said, he misused or take advantage of his official position to seduce or induce a girl. Minimum 5 years, maximum 10 years of imprisonment. Okay. 69. Section 2 goes by false promise of marriage or by cheating, deceitful means. This is new section added. Previously in IPC it was not there. Up to 10 years of imprisonment. Minimum they have not mentioned. 70. Gang rape. And here again, it depends whether the age of the person is less than 18 or more than 18. If the age is more than 18, minimum 20 years, it may go to life imprisonment. Less than 18, life imprisonment, minimum or even death sentence. Just remember 70 gang rape. Okay. Now, here you got the answer 68 of BNS. Now, coming to the question number 17. If the doctor and nurse reveals the identity of the rape victim publicly, they are awarded punishment for 2 years under section. Now, previously the 228 of IPC, disclosure of the identity of the victim of rape. You are not supposed to reveal the identity of the victim of rape. If you reveal, up to 2 years of imprisonment. At the same time, Section 397 of BNS says a doctor has to give free treatment to the victims of rape as well as victims of acid attack. If not, and at the same time, it is your duty to inform the police. You have to inform the police. This section also important. Meantime, if not punishable under section 200 of BNS, this section is not important. That's why I given in blue. All other are given in red. Okay. And one more section they may not ask, but recently NEET PG they ask a question. Whenever the trial of rape takes place, it should be a closed court proceeding. That is known as court in camera. Court in camera means only 100% required people should be there inside the court, like judge, as you say, judge, along with that court staff, plus accused, his lawyer, the victim, the parents, whoever it is. Not open proceeding. Now, trial of an Ali rape is done in a closed court proceeding. This question asked in it Bichi. POCSO Act, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Remember, all the offences mentioned under this POCSO Act, you have to inform the police. Not only you, any citizen of India, if he comes to know that a child is sexual harassed or penetrated sexual assault or whatever it is, duty to inform the police. If not, minimum 6 months of imprisonment or fine or both. Okay. So here the answer is 72 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Embalming without issuing death certificate is punishable under. Say here, the embalming without death certificate. Say, for example, tomorrow my friend calls me, JP, my father expired. My brother has to come from America. Can you please embalm the dead body? I just ask, how did he die? I say, come on. Believing my friend, I just go and embalm the dead body. But later I come to know that he only killed his father by poisoning. Now, punishment under section 238 of BNS for disappearance of evidence. At the same time, embalming without consent. You are punishable under section 301 of BNS for indignity to human cause. What Indian law says is whatever a person during life, once he dies, you have to respect the dead body. Even necrophilia comes under section 301 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Remember that. Frotteurism, getting sexual pleasure by touching the genitals or to the body of others. Okay. Punishable under section 290 of BNS for public nuisance. It is not only nuisance to the public, it is also nuisance to the actual female. It amounts to sexual harassment. So punishable also under 75 of BNS for sexual harassment. Exhibitionism, exposing the private parts to the in public places, especially to the opposite sex, sometimes to the same sex, depending on their orientation, which is punishable under section 96 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Remember, I'm discussing all important sections under obscene. Now here, 238, disappearance of evidence, 290, public nuisance, example, frotteurism, and also frotteurism, 75, BNS, 296, obscene act, example, exhibitionism, 301 of BNS, indignity to human corpse, which includes even necrophilia and necrophagia. Okay. A group of women forcibly remove the clothes of a 23-year-old innocent exam-going male student. The women are punishable under which section of BNS? Whether they are punishable or not. Remember, all these sex-linked offenses are gender specific. That means it is offenses which can be taken place only on a female. Section 74 to 79 BNS are gender specific offenses against a female. Here, 74 BNS deals with outraging the modesty of a woman or indecent assault. So, for example, a person tries to catch and kiss a woman is punishable under 74 of BNS. Same time, if it is opposite, the female comes and kisses a man, she is not punishable. That's why it is gender specific. Now, 75 BNS deals with sexual harassment. What amount to sexual harassment? Number one, wanted physical contact or advances as sexual overtures. See this picture, then it will come to know. Unwanted physical contact. Always in touching a female, especially on objectionable areas. But demanding sexual favors. Now look at this question. This act is punishment under which section of BNS? 75. Demand or request for sexual favors. Number three, showing pornography against the will of the woman. And number four, UTC, making sexually colored remarks. All these falls under sexual harassment, punishment in section 75 of BNS. 76 BNS, disrobe, taking off one's clothes without the consent. 77, voyeurism, also known as thoptophilia, where peeping. They also known as peeping Tom, watching or capturing the image of a woman engaging in a private act, maybe dressing, undressing, or sexual activities, also thing, or keeping a hidden camera in the changing room. Okay, all these are known as voyeurism. 78 of BNS, stalking. King means following a female, despite of clear indication of disinterest. Hey, don't follow me. In spite of that, he follows. Following means not only following physically, even through mobile, gimbal, also thing, or where she is going, to whom she is talking, everything come under. Okay. 79 of BNS is known as insulting the modesty of a woman. Insulting the modesty. The word, gesture, or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Lord did not define clearly what is the difference between outraging the modesty and insulting the modesty. Almost same or same. Okay. Now, punishment for insulting the modesty of a woman comes under 79 of BNS. Okay. Now, a group of here already know the answer. I said it is gender specific. So, none of the above is the answer. A woman commits suicide after 2 years of marriage, leaving behind a suicide note stating that she was harassed by her husband and relatives of her husband in demand of dowry. Look here. The woman has committed suicide. At the same time, there is harassment for dowry. At the same time, why she committed suicide? Because of this harassment. So that abetment of suicide. Now already got the answer. Now she died because of dowry. It is dowry debt. Section 80 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita defines what is dowry debt, and it also says what is the punishment for dowry debt. Death of a woman which is harmonious of her marriage by bodily burns or any other suspicious circumstances where it has been proved that soon before her death she was subjected for cruelty by her husband or the relatives of her husband for or in connection with dowry, then it is considered to be dowry death. And minimum 7 years of imprisonment, which can extend to life imprisonment. And usually, not usually, inquest has to be done by a magistrate, usually executive magistrate, and doctors. Two doctors should conduct autopsy, preferably one lady doctor. One lady doctor. Okay. Now, 55 BNS deals with dowry harassment. Husband or relative husband subjecting her to cruelty, punishment, up to 3 years of imprisonment plus fine. Okay. Section 108 of BNS, abetment of suicide, felicitation of suicide, abetment, punishment up to 10 years of imprisonment plus fine. Okay. Now, quantum means minimum 7 years. Cruel behavior, 85 of BNS, that is dowry harassment. Now, I already said she committed suicide because of dowry, so it is dowry death. So 80 BNS, yes. There is dowry harassment, so yes, husband is punishable, as not a husband, that is punishable under 85 of BNS. 108, abetment of suicide. 103 BNS, no. You know why? 103 BNS is a murder. Murder means they should have killed her. Say, for example, husband catch hold of the mother, father pour kerosene on the daughter-in-law, mother-in-law lit the fire and she died, then all three are punishable for murder under 103. But here it is not murder, she committed suicide. That is the last question. Now, whatever I discussed so far, I'm giving a list. You can just keep pause and you can go through that. Okay, already I discussed about also this continuously. 28, 30, 63, 64, 1, and even highlighted with the yellow is more important. Okay. Now, this is also just go through. Custody rate also included under 62. Marganya Samhita 72, 90. Again, I don't want to repeat and waste your time. Okay. All related to injuries, hurt, grievous hurt, here, perjury. Very, very important, perjury. And this is sections of Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Samhita. Oh, that time I told Bharatiya Nyaya Suraksha Samhita. I'm sorry. It is Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Samhita. Okay, public to give information, police inquest, magistrate inquest, free of cost treatment. And if a woman is found to be pregnant, the High Court shall commute the sentence to imprisonment of life. Okay. That is regarding this session on 20 questions. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Please ask me. Okay. You might have thought that I'm going very fast. I went very fast, maybe because I don't want to waste your time, number one. Number two, if I go slow, some people say, sir, you're going very slow. But at the same time, there is an option for you to keep it in pause and go through that. Or you can keep the speed of 0.75. Or if it is faster, you can keep 0.75. If it is slow, you can go for 1.25 or even 1.5. Okay. Understood. Okay. Bye bye. Have you any question? Tell me. Tell me. Best. Not best. Best. You said best class. I'm asking you, you have any doubts? So always I say, be happy, make others happy as possible, grow gracefully, and die with dignity. I am following this since about more than 3 decades. At the same time, I have given my phone number to you here. If at all you have any doubts, you please call me. Okay. No need to send the message. Okay. Because I'm 58 years old. I don't have patience to go on messaging. So instead of that, better. Okay. Bye bye.